yes, there's a lot of clothes, but that will be, I'll go over that in a second. So the books I've read this May, I would say I kind of went out of my comfort. Now I don't know how to say that, like the genres I usually read. So let's start. Okay, so I just finished this one, Powerless. I really loved it. It reminds me of like a Hunger Games kind of book, and it's like the protagonist, she's like from a bad part of town, I guess you could say, and she gets like put into these games where like everybody dies basically, and you have to survive and like win, and like there's a winner, you know, all the Hunger Game kind of things. And so she meets these two princes, and so, okay, let me restart. So like everybody has powers, or most people, and the king made everybody believe that the ordinaries that have no powers like diseased everybody, and ordinaries should not live. So then the enforcer would kill all the ordinaries to like get rid of them. And one of the guys she meets ends up being the future enforcer. So that's a thing. Yeah, so yeah, that happens. And basically we get Peyton's, I think that's how you say that, her point of view and his. Kai, I love Kai, he's so everything. I need the second book, and it is coming out July 2nd, I think, in the July area. There's a prequel to this book, so I'm gonna read that hopefully at some point. So I definitely recommend this. I would probably give it 5 stars. I'm gonna say, because you know, you can't diss a good wannabe Hunger Games, but it was really good and I loved it. I had The Summer I Turned Pretty. I read this book and this 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo for like that one Taylor Swift video that I was trying to do. And obviously, you already know I did this one 5 stars because it's like an easy read, kind of like a beach read. Like obviously there's a show, and it's just, I don't know, I thought it was easy to read, it was heartwarming, just fun, you know. And then this book, one of my friends didn't really like it, and I liked it a little more than she did, I think. But in the end, I did get kind of bored because it was like, they were so predictable. And the guy, you get 2 point of views as well, Rowan and Zara. I don't know, it was just, she was the, I'm just so small, I just can't do anything kind of thing, and it was annoying. And then he was, of course, the morally gray man that, yeah, it's just a little weird, kind of a boring, I mean not boring, there was stuff that happened, but it's like, I kind of want more realness. So I forgot the rating I gave this, but I'd probably give it 3 stars. 2.5 to 3. I don't know. This one, Bright Young Woman, I loved this book. It's kind of a, it's called a historical fiction because the author actually interviewed Ted Bundy. Like, no, whoa. She did not interview, like, his victim that like survived, she interviewed her for some of the book. So that was really cool, and you get like some insight on kind of what happened and how the trials kind of went down. You just kind of go through the life of the character, and you get like, so the first chapter, this book cover is upside down. The first chapter is about, it kind of gives you like a background. It starts off saying like day like 100,000 something, day 15,825. So you kind of go from the very end to kind of see how she got to that point. Hello. Any events that got her there. So I definitely recommend this book. It is one of my 5-star reads. So yeah, definitely, I was holding it upside down, but this is a good one. Last but not least, I have Just for the Summer. Apparently this is the 3rd book to the series, and this is the first one I read. But I really like this one. I would probably give it 4 stars because, I mean, it wasn't my favorite book, but it was really good and I loved it. And I don't know. I just like the other ones that I feel like I can reread to be a 5-star book and that I kind of remember. Because even though it has not been that long, I honestly don't really remember what happened in this book. Hi. But I definitely recommend it. It was, I think I said this in another video, but it's kind of about like these two people that have never been able to like find the one, basically, because every time they date somebody they break up and then the person they were dating ends up finding the love of their life. So they do this experiment to see if they date each other, then they'll go on and the next person they meet will be the love of their lives. Don't want to spoil it, but it's kind of obvious they kind of do that and then, you know, it's not really pretending anymore. So that happens and there's some good twists and, you know, they all obviously have like an argument, don't knock this down, that like makes them split up and then they, yeah, happily ever after. But I thought it was really cute and a good start to the summer book. It's been literally the entire summer. I started filming one video, but like I just never picked up the camera again. And I might show the footage somewhere, but it was of me running. And there was another one where I was reviewing the books that I'm about to review, and I never posted it. Anyways, so we're back. It is July 28th, so it's been a while. And I'm going to move into college like literally less than maybe 10 days actually. I think I counted it. But I wanted to kind of give like a book update because why not, you know? So first, I'm going to show y'all the most recent books I've read. And one of my graduation gifts from one of my friends was a book lover journal thing, and I started using it not that long ago. I only have like 2 or 3 books in here, and I need to add the one I just read. So I have Reckless, If He Had Been With Me, and Funny Story, which is the one I need to fill in. But basically, it just kind of has on here the book title, the author, the publisher, all the things that don't really matter, honestly. And then we have like, you can rate everything on a scale of 1 to 10 right here. And it's like the quality of writing, pace, plot development, characters, enjoyability, insightfulness, ease of reading, and photos and illustrations. So you can rate that 1 to 10, however you feel, and would you recommend this book. And then it just asks you like the basic plot and the setting and all the things about the book to kind of help you better remember it. And there's, it gives book recommendations at the end too, so that's kind of cool. Remember what some of these are about. So this one, it's called Honey. It's from Book of the Month, so I didn't really pick it out. It was about like a songwriter, how like, it's basically an autobiography. No, it's not. What? It's like, it's fictional, okay? It's not real. And it's kind of like showing how like she grew up in like the hardships of trying to be like a name out in the world, like in the music industry and all that. That's that. And I thought it was kind of, it was okay. I mean, I think I rated it like a 3, maybe 3.5 or a 4, but I don't have the book cover, so I kind of book sleeve, so I kind of forgot what it was about. But I mean, it kind of shows you like the relationships and how like people are toxic and like what the media like says about everybody and like how they will make their own story. So it was kind of interesting. Funny Story. I got it at Costco, if you can't tell, and I recommend getting your books at Costco. If you find one, get it, because this is usually, one second, this is usually $30. I got it for $17. That is a steal. I snatched that thing. But I love Emily Henry, and Funny Story, as you can tell, is her, or not that you can tell, but like, it's one of her newer books, and I really like it. It's kind of different. I heard somebody else say this, like where it's like the guy's not really how she would usually like meet the guys, like he's not really like the dream guy or whatever, but I'll give you like the synopsis. It's this girl and her fiance are about to get married, and she finds out that like he basically cheated on her, and he's like, yeah, I love, like, no wait, he cheated on her with his best friend that's a girl. So he comes back and like tells her like, oh, I'm actually in love with my best friend. And she's like, okay. So she gets kicked out of the house, and then she goes to live in this apartment with, it sounds complicated, with her ex-fiance's now new fiance, or like girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. So there's a weird connection there. Like both of the guy who she's living with in the apartment, both of their exes like are with each other. I can't spoil it. I'm sorry. It's a good book and it's pretty popular, so I wouldn't doubt you would read it. Would not read it. So there's that. And basically they're like trying to fake a relationship because they accidentally told, or she accidentally told her ex that she was gonna have +1 to his wedding and that it was the other guy, so, you know, they had to play it out. And I've been reading a lot of like faking relationship books, and I'm kind of here for it. So that's kind of what that one, kind of like fake relationship, not really, but then they always end up falling in love, you know. Okay, the next one that I just picked up is The Paradise Problem, and I heard a lot of good things about this book. It has a very pretty cover and it's really soft. Not that that has anything to do with the book, but it does, okay. This is also a fake relationship kind of book, but instead they got like married as like a contract thing so he could get the guy in the book, which his name, one second, she calls him, okay, West, I think. We're gonna call him West. She calls him that, yeah, it's West, because she doesn't realize it's a nickname for the big grocery brand that his family owns. So she's always called him West, and they got married in order to get a discount on a dorm. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. So they, after like 5 years, he comes back and he's like, hey, like, we're going to this thing or whatever. And she's like, I thought we broke up because, you know, they left and like they kind of divorced because like they never saw each other. They were never really married. And then so they had to pretend like they were married at his sister's like wedding thing. So, and they're in paradise, The Paradise Problem. It's kind of spicy, I won't lie, but I liked it a lot. There was a lot of good, I feel like commentating is not the right word, verbal interaction, we'll call it that, and I really like that, so I recommend the book. It goes by pretty fast. You're gonna want to read the whole thing. Like, I devoured this thing. Like I said earlier, it was really good, and it's like giving really beachy vibes, so I think that's perfect for the summer. Basically, his dad is like, nobody likes his dad, so his dad wants him to be the CEO. He doesn't want to be the CEO and all this stuff. It's all about inheritance, and they get into it in the book, you know. It's pretty good though. I like it. This next one is sad, okay? If He Had Been With Me. So it's a good book. It took a little bit to get used to the writing, but after that it was kind of fine. It was really easy to read, I can say that. It didn't take very long because there's not a lot of words on each page, so you know. I spoiled the ending for myself, and like, that was really sad. I don't cry during books, but I kind of wanted to during this one. So yeah, it's basically her and her best friend, that's a guy, and they like grow up together, like their moms were best friends, so they became best friends. The whole book is basically about like, she really loves him. His name is Finn, so she really loves Finn, like throughout high school, middle school, everything, but she doesn't realize it until it's too late, and she gets with this other guy, and she's like, oh, it's love, and I just have to deal with it. This is what's meant for me. But she always goes back to Finn. That is that. Okay, wait. I did not rate these. This one, Paradise Problem, I will give 5 stars. It was pretty good. And funny story. No, okay. Funny story, I will give 4. This one, I'll give 3.5, just because I didn't really like how it was written all that much. which ones do I want to go to next? Okay, you know this series, Powerless and Reckless, and they're both the Barnes & Noble edition, so, you know, pretty legit. I'm kidding, by the way. Powerless, I 100% recommend this, and I think the third book is coming out pretty soon. Third book, definitely recommend. I don't want to spoil it because it's really good, but it is an enemies to lovers, so here you go. And there's no like weird stuff in it, if you know what I mean. The second book, I would probably give 4.5, just because I feel like it's already kind of a small book, especially compared to the other one, but I feel like just turn off on me. Boy Got Reckless. I feel like most of this book was just them traveling through the desert, and like it was cute, but like could we not? Like can they just, this thing is not gonna be turning back on. Anyways, I feel like it could be shortened. The end, I kind of saw it coming, and I'm not surprised because basically in the beginning Peyton is running away from Kai because the thing that happened at the end of the book, you know, because, okay, I feel like I can't talk about the second book if I don't spoil the first one. It's a good book, but I like the first one better, and I hope the third gives more. I hope it adds a little more spice or something, because obviously we're gonna have to see how Kai deals with the sentence that Peyton got put on her after he captured her and brought her back to the king, which is Kit, his brother, which Kit also fell in love with Peyton. It's like a love triangle. I love love triangles, so I will not argue against that. And then this is the book I'm currently reading, House of Glass. It's another book of the month one, and I am almost done. Like I have barely 100 pages. It's actually pretty good, and I didn't realize how kind of creepy the cover is, the sleeve, because I've been reading most of my hardcovers without the sleeve so I don't mess them up, which I recommend doing if you tend to drop your books, or you like read while you're eating breakfast or something, you know, or if you read outside, just keep the cover off so it doesn't get all scratched up. But so far this is really good. It's like a murder mystery, and she's I already forgot, she's some kind of lawyer. Okay, she's a best interest attorney. So these two parents get divorced, and they're trying to like file for custody of their child, whatever. But what happened was, okay, basically why they're getting divorced is because they're really rich, you know, as always, and they live in this big house, and the nanny got pushed out of the window, and so basically they get divorced because the nanny had an affair with the husband. I know. And the whole book, she is trying to find, oh, and the kid got like traumatic muteness, you know, yeah, she can't talk because she witnessed what happened. So basically it's harder to get to know Rose, the kid, because she can't talk, she can't give any information, she can't say anything. But the whole book is like her experiencing odd things that happen to her at this house, and she's finding clues onto what happened to Tina, the nanny, and she's getting closer and closer to finding out who it was. And basically everybody ends up being a suspect that lives in the house. And I'm getting to the good part where like the person who killed the nanny like attacks her. Yes, I did read ahead. I don't recommend that ever, but I do it all the time. So far, this is absolutely 5 stars, and I love it. I'm almost done. I have 2 more books that I got. I got 7 Year Slip, and I also have Part of Your World, which is the first book just for the summer. Oh my gosh, my Kindle. I forgot. I have books on here too. Okay, so I read Yours Truly, The Ministry of Time. That's it. I thought I read more. I just read Yours Truly. That's the second book in the series. Now I'm going to be reading the first pretty soon. That is the end of this video. And that'll probably be it. So I will see y'all for the next one. And I promise there will be more. there will be a next one, and have fun reading.